These techniques are right out of Shintoyoshin Kai, so now we'll do some hair grabs. Common in fighting for people to grab your hair. Knew a couple of great fighters in the past that fought in the MMA when it was legal to grab hair. There's a pretty equally matched fight standing up. If it would have gone to the ground, the one guy had a lot less of an advantage, but he happened to be able to grab the long hair of his opponent. His opponent didn't have good hair defense, and he lost the fight because of the control he had over his hair. Good hair defense, if you're going to grow your hair longer, if you're a lady or a man, you want to be able to defend. So in Shintoyoshin Kai, we have that built in. Eric grabs my hair from in front. I trap his hand as I poke his eyes. Now if you look from this side, I'm going to do the same thing again. Trap with the opposite side hand. Why? Because if I do this, as I'm coming up to eye jab, he may be striking me. But if I protect, now here's my guard against the strike as I eye jab. The other thing is, I'm going to go to second wrist control here. And I turn it away where it buckles him. Now I take him all the way down to the arm bar. When I get him here, place this high on the hip, and my other leg acts like a pair of scissors on his elbow. Hair grabs from behind. Let me get Eric in this situation here. He grabs my hair, I trap his hand and drop my level. Very important to drop your level. If your level's high and he takes you back, you go off your feet. If you drop your level, you're mobile, you're lower, you're stable. I circle under his hand and get the wrist lock here. That breaks a hold. Now I circle him away into the same arm bar and the same scissoring action to attack. Other side, or if I turn the other way, because in fighting, sometimes you'll just react one way or the other. So he grabs my hair, again, drop my level, and I turn this way. I see what's happening. Right when I get here, I know that I have to cut his arm down quickly here. I bring him down to the ground, and watch, I'll pin his arm so that I could fire on him. One of the ways to finish it.
So a common street fight situation is this hair grab, especially for a smaller female. So Jenny's going to go ahead and demonstrate how, even if you have a larger opponent, that with her entire body against my arm, she can still come out on top in this situation. So Jenny's going to stand in front of me. I'm going to get this hair grab on her. Go ahead.
So you were able to see there that Jenny, as small as she is compared to Eric, was able to control the situation. Her whole body essentially against his wrist. And that makes it for a very uneven fight for Eric. So she, in the first one, if you notice, she didn't take him down or submit him. She ballistically pulled back on the arm to break the arm. And that technique will literally break the radius against the ulna, or vice versa, ulna against the radius, and do some damage to the ligaments in the joint. The other technique was shio-nagi. If you recognize that, you're an Aikido person or Jiu-Jitsu person, and that takes the opponent all the way to the ground. If you get your hair grabbed and you just latch on, drop your level, if you notice Jenny dropped her level, and spin, either way, hold on to the arm, you're usually going to do damage to that opponent's arm. So it doesn't always have to be such a clean technique. But if you just grab a hold and spin, you're usually going to get yourself out of that situation. We'll do some shoulder grabs now. Common situation again. Someone grabs you and wants to turn you around into a punch. I don't understand why they do that. If you go to punch some bad guy, don't turn them around, punch them from behind. But if someone goes to turn you around, you feel that pull, go with it. Don't go against it, because that'll take you off your feet. So I'll demonstrate this way. If Eric comes in, he goes straight shoulder grab. I'm going to drop my level and raise my hands, because usually, surely there's a punch coming. As I do that, I cut down and capture this underneath here, and I fire into his throat. That's not only a strike, it's off balancing him. And then I'm going to sweep him to the ground, lock his shoulder up. And I'm going to capture his head so he can't move out of this technique, and turn and destroy the shoulder, or submit the opponent. The cross shoulder grab Looks the same way. I feel the shoulder being grabbed. I drop my level and cover. I always want to zone away from the other hand, the power hand. So if you noticed, I went the other way because the power hand was on the opposite side. And if I go this way, I come across the body. Here I am on the throat again. Now I sweep, and I'll capture this shoulder lock. You saw this shoulder lock in a previous technique. I'm going to go across to the belly so he can't move away. I'm going to switch my knees and turn my chest towards the ceiling. Won't even get close. There's so much tension on the shoulder. This is another possibility in our self-defense series. We were doing eye jabs for the straight punches. A haymaker is a very common technique, or what looks like a looping overhand cross. A big, we call it a haymaker. And so if Eric and I are fighting, when he throws the straight jab, that's relatively easy to deal with, especially with the eye jab. He throws the straight jab, and this is simulating an eye jab in training. So I just parry that shot, let it go over my shoulder, and eye jab, and he throws across, and I parry and eye jab, and then after that I can follow up with punches. As he throws that cross again, I can eye jab and break the leg like we were talking about, the oblique kicks. When he throws the haymaker, it's a circular action. I can either get outside of the circle, block it, or get inside of the circle. This time I'm going to get inside the circle, so watch how this works. And remember, destroying the ankle when you can, or the foot, and taking off. So we'll finish up with a few techniques. I'll go over a couple of elbow techniques first, and I'll just give you a real quick view of what you might see in the future. This particular segment is some of the basic ways to deal with a street situation. Although we went into some of our kimono katas to give you an idea to go a little further, but there'll be some more advanced techniques. At the end of this video, I'm going to have Jenny do a few throws on Eric, so you can see what the future may be for you if you continue to train. Your chances of success, of course, are much better if you're someone who trains regularly. Find yourself a good dojo, find yourself a good teacher in the system, and train regularly, and your chances of success in real combat are much better. Quick seminars, quick videotapes, and the like give you a much better chance, but not as much as if you were to regularly train. So here we are, he's got two good inside ties. If I over tie here, when I pull Eric in, I step in, he leans right into this elbow shot. You see that? So a lot of times if I want to get my elbows involved, which are great in fighting situations, this is one way, pull them in and strike. Another thing is, there's a great wrist lock here that could destroy the wrist if it's a serious fight situation. Now if I have the inside ties, I was blocking punches and we got in this tie-up situation, I'm going to pull him this way, but my opposite elbow hits him. I'm pulling this way, and my opposite elbow hits him. That'll be for a future videotape. I just want you to be thinking of using your elbows, your headbutts, your knees. Your knees will come into play now. Jenny's going to be dealing with a couple of bear hugs. A bear hug from in front. We'll utilize the knees to get out, especially for the smaller person, and then some heel kicks when someone grabs you from behind.
Jenny's going to go ahead and demonstrate a knee counter to the bear hug from in front. Now to counter a bear hug from behind, Jenny's going to use a scoop kick to the groin. Now Jenny's going to go ahead and demonstrate some of her higher level throws.